Okay, welcome to part one of several parts for this tutorial. This is going to be a tutorial to show you how to create tests, and I'm going to create a test in the resources directory on my page. So I'm already in my page. Let's go to my resources page, and I've created a directory structure, course modules, and I'll just drop this course modules down, and I've created module 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in module 1 I'm going to create a directory for, say, module 1 tests, and I'll show you how to create the test first. So I need to first create a folder, and it's important we make this folder slightly different. We don't want like an ordinary folder. We need to make sure they can write into this folder. So I'm going to call it tests, and it's going to be a regular folder, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter it so that it has limited and adjust access rights. Normally when a user logs onto one of these pages they have guest access rights, and that's fine, but what we want is we want normal guest access like so, but normally have read access in the room. They should have write access in this folder, rather than just a standard access based on members access room. So put a radio button in the guest access button here, so they have write access to this folder, and then just click on save. And what that allows them to do is to write to anything that's in this folder, rather than just be able to read it like so. So I can now go into my tests. You can see it's got customize written after it, which means the permissions have been slightly tweaked. I click on the folder, and this will take us into the tests folder. And now what I'm going to do is create the document. So I create a file as we would normally do, and as you can see I get delivered options for simple authors, documents, articles, page and so on. What I want to do is create a test document, and I'm going to call it History of CGI. And what I can do is I can actually create like a description, test to see if there is an understanding like so, and get all my spelling right would help. There you go. So I'm going to click on save, and I'll save this document, and as soon as we save it, it will take us into our creating a test page. Okay, and now what we can do is, you can see it's got History of CGI up here. That's the title of my test, and what I can do is add a new question like so, and this is the same for most questions that you'll want to do. You just keep adding questions. This is our first one, and it'll build a page like so. So what we can do is put in a question. So what was the first real CGI film? Okay, and here I can actually put in a detailed question. So what was the first film to incorporate computer generated graphics? Okay, and put the question mark after that one as well, and we're done. That's the question. Now I need to fill in what the answers are. So I just move the scroller down here. I'm going to just stick with the category of radio buttons, although we've got various choices of types of question we can ask, and I'll explain those in part 2 of this tutorial. And just for the moment we're going to put in the answers. So let's do Toy Story. Okay. Okay, so I've put in my questions, or my answers to the questions. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to actually put in a tick here. Okay, so the actual correct answer would be Tron. Okay, and that answer is worth 1 point. So I need to make sure I've got a score and make sure that I've ticked the right answer here. And I'm also going to make this question mandatory, so they have to answer it, like so. And then click on save, and that saves the first question that we've just created up here. So there's my first question. What I can do is I can actually preview this question, so I can click on the preview button, and this will show me what the question will look like on the page. Just wait for it to load, like so. So that's actually what it looks like when the user sees it. Okay, so this is my actual question, and this is the detailed question, which just gives them a few more hints maybe of what the actual answer might be. So go back to edit. Okay, and what I could do is I could have a new page for every question, so I could create a new page down here, add another question, and so on. But what we do in most cases is we just keep adding questions, and in part 2 I'll describe how you add different types of questions.